Hey everybody, this is Peter B. And today I want to talk about the top 5 most iconic baseball card sets, actually vintage baseball card sets of the 20th century. Now the keywords are vintage, including pre-war, of the 20th century. If I said all time, then the Old Judge tobacco cards would definitely be in this list. They were the first major baseball card set. They were sold with cigarettes, and there is many collectors of that set. It's a very popular set. And if I did not use the word vintage, then the 1989 Upper Deck would be in this group. It was the first baseball card set to use premium cardstock. It had nice rookies, including the number 1 card, Ken Griffey Jr., and it had a hologram little thing on the back to prevent counterfeiting. And that was a major breakthrough in card collecting. So those two would be in this grouping, but I did say vintage and I did say 20th century. So you might not agree with my top 5, but you definitely have to probably put these in the top 10 of yours. They're very key sets in baseball card collecting hobby. And number 5 is the 1953 Bowman Color. Bowman made a color set, then a black and white set, but I'm going to talk about the color set. It was the first set to use color photographs, and that was a major thing in baseball card collectibles, baseball card manufacturing. Color photographs. There have been photographs going way back, matter of fact, back to the Old Judges, but they were all in black and white. This is the first color photograph. Most of them were portraits, but they had these they called action shots. They were actually posed shots, like the one you see here. Key cards in this set. There is not only a Mickey Mantle card by himself, but a combo card of Mantle, Bauer, and Berra sitting in the dugout. Stan Musial has a beautiful card in this set. And probably the most popular card in this set is the Pee Wee Reese. Now what you're looking at is my only 1953 Bowman Color. I apologize to Alex from Bowman 53. He has them all. I don't have any but this one. And the reason I do have this one is because this is the card that started it all. This is card number 1, Davy Williams, of the 1953 Bowman Color. So this is the card that started the set off. So that's number 5 of my most iconic card sets. Okay, the next one is the 1941 Playball set. Now Playball made 3 card set, 39, 40, and 41. I could have used 1939. That has the Ted Williams rookie card. But in my opinion, I like the 1941s. They were in color, and it's also the last major card set before the card interruption because of World War II. And this is a very nice set. This is card number 1. This is the card that started it all off. And there it is, card number 1, Edward Robert Miller. And this one is even more special because this is a paper hand-cut card. Now, I could be mistaken, but I believe once towards the end of their production run, because we're now starting to have shortages of supplies, they printed the last batch on paper, and they were hand cut. So this is paper thin, it's not actually cardboard. But it's card number 1, the one that started off the 1941 Playball. I have a Jimmy Fox, card number 13. And I like this Jimmy Fox because he's on the Boston Red Sox. Oops, still has its nasty eBay certification. And it also has a beautiful Ted Williams. I really like that card. And there's the back, number 14. So this is my number 4 of the top 5 most iconic baseball sets. And the 1941 Playball. Now, number 3 is the 1952 Topps. Pretty much baseball cards and Topps go together. And although Topps did come out with some cards in 1951, it wasn't really till the 1952 set is where their flagship product started. And once again, this is the card that started it off. Number 1, Andy Pafko. And this one has a red back as opposed to a black back. And once again, card that all started it all off. Number 1, Andy Pafko. Lots of Hall of Famers included in this set. And it was printed in series, and the last series was short printed. There's 407 cards, and in the short series, the final series was the 52 Mantle, which is a very expensive card today. It's not the rookie, but it's the first Topps Mantle. And the last card, the bookend of Eddie Pafko, was a rookie card of Eddie Matthews. Here are some cards I have. Here is Jerry Coleman. Beautiful colors, like how they kind of put a white border around his head that really makes him stand apart from the background. And that's what a back looks like. And we got Walt Dropo, Red Sox. And Gil Hodges. So the third most iconic set, the representation of Topps Baseball, the 1952 set, and Andy Pafko started it all off. Now that was the 4th. I hope I kept mentioning 4th. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I did 6. Sorry, I did 6, starting with the 53 Bowman. So 53 Bowman was 6. 41 Playball was 5th. 52 Topps was 3rd. And now another iconic set is the 1914-15 Cracker Jacks. There was Cards were 176 cards, and they were inserted into boxes of the Cracker Jack candy. Everyone knows the Cracker Jack candy. In 1914, that was the only way you could get them out of the box. So there would be wax stains. You can see there's wax stains on this one. This is a 1914. And 1915, you could get them out of the box, or you can send away for a complete set. And so there are some out there that never touch the sticky Cracker Jack candy, popcorn. So they are more pristine, but it's cool to get them with a little bit of caramel stain. Then you know they came out the way they were intended to. So once again, this is the card that started it all off. 1914 Cracker Jack Otto Nabe. Cracker Jack issued the National League players, American League players, and the brand new upstart Federal League players. And here's Otto Nabe playing for the Baltimore Federals. I think they were the Baltimore Terrapins. 1914 cards, you can tell, because if you take the card and just flip it right over, it would still be the correct side up. 1915 cards, however, if you take the card and flip it over, they would all be upside down. So that's how you can tell between the 1914s and 1915s. So here is Joe Birmingham of the Cleveland Americans. All the cards had that beautiful red background. Some were just portraits. Some were posed action photos. And others were posed action photos on green grass. So this is John Miller. And once again, it's a 1915. And here is Dick Hobotzel of the Boston Americans. And once again, Cracker Jack was 176 cards, and very expensive, even these commons like I'm showing you here, but outrageously expensive. There's a Joe Jackson card, Ty Cobb card, Honest Wagner card, and also other major Hall of Famers like Christy Mathewson, I think Tris Speaker, Nap Lajoie. All the big names were in this Cracker Jack set. Beautiful cards. Okay, number 2. Came out in 1933. Another very popular set to collect. And that's the 33 Goudeys. And once again, this is the card that started it all off. Benny Bengow. Card number 1. The Goudey had 240 cards. And there were first cards that were packaged together with bubble gum and sold in a wrapper, and they cost 1 cent in the day. Lots of Hall of Famers, including 4 Babe Ruths and a Lou Gehrig. Here is a Waite Hoyt. I like that. Shows him on the mound with the second baseman in the background. It's a horizontal card. That's not the norm in this set. Here's a Jimmy Fox. Here is the Lou Gehrig. And then finally here is one of the 4 Babe Ruths. Very iconic set. On my list, it's number 2. And to be honest with you, while I'm doing this video, I probably would have put the 52 Tops as number 3 and the Cracker Jacks as number 4, because that was the initial entry into Tops, which is pretty much recognized as true baseball card name. So the 1953 Goudeys is number 2. Now finally, the number 1 most iconic vintage card set of the 20th century is T206, the Monster. Issued from 1909 to 1911. There are 524 fronts of the cards and 16 different backs. Very, very popular amongst collectors, not only to collect the fronts, but also to collect the backs. And its most famous card in the history of baseball cards, the Honest Wagner, is from this set. And once again, this is the card that started it all off. The Ed Abacchio blue sleeves. There were no numbers on the T206s, so the checklist runs in alphabetical order, and this card is number 1 alphabetically. He has 2 cards, a brown sleeves and a blue sleeves, but the blue sleeves would be first alphabetically. Many, many Hall of Famers in this set. All kinds of ways to collect it. You can collect the teams. You can collect just the Hall of Famers. You can collect by certain backs. Many, many Hall of Famers. For example, here is Cy Young Green. There's also a Cy Young pitching card. This came out of some scrapbook, Sweet Copperell back. Adds the rookie card of Tris Speaker. And this is a lesser common Red Cross tobacco, which actually, this is not a T206, it's a T215 if I recall. So actually I made a boo-boo here. But if I didn't show you the back, that's what a Tris Speaker front would look like. Walter Johnson, Christy Mathewson, Nap Lajoie, and of course, they not only have one, but they have, sorry, Mr. Abacchio. They not only have 1, 2, but they have 3, 4 Cubs. 4 Cubs in the series. This one's called Holden Bat and green background. Green background is the rarest. And these both have Sweet Copperell backs. And they have bat on shoulder and red background. And there's a polar back and a Piedmont back. So these are the Ty Cobb T206s from the Monster set, which is the #1 most iconic baseball card set, and many people would agree with me on that. May not be your favorite, but it definitely is the most iconic baseball card set. Well, if you don't agree with me, what are your favorite 5 most iconic sets? Not favorite. What do you think are the 5 most iconic sets, vintage, of the 20th century? So this is Peter B. I hope everyone enjoyed the little showcase here, and I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. Goodbye.